What's up, everybody? Now, I do look a little different. I done lost some weight. Happy June and happy summer. Um, all right, so the book I'm going to be. So, June is Black Music Month, if you didn't know. In 1979, the camera's up here. So, in 1979, Jimmy Carter declared June African American Music Month to celebrate African Americans' music and to celebrate African Americans' contributions to the music industry. Now, the book that we're going to be doing, if some of you know, I had another YouTube channel, the Jacoby Book Club, where I basically recap, read and recap autobiographies. One of the autobiographies I did last year in June was the Otis Williams book. Now, it was a little iffy. Sound was in and out. So I decided that I'm going to revisit this book. And listen, we got to get through it because, well, it's a short book because Black Music Month is almost over. Now, tomorrow they said is the first day of summer, like the real first day of summer. But like, ain't the first day, to me the first day of summer is Memorial Day, and the last day is Labor Day. Well, they called it the unofficial. Anyways, they called it the unofficial start of summer, Memorial Day, and the unofficial end Labor Day. Now, if I'm looking over there, I'm looking at the TV because the movie with the girl from Destiny Child, Latoya and Tank and Cliff and Powell. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get through this first part. But let's get it. The Temptations by Otis Williams with Patricia Rome. Now listen, I cannot read the whole book. Y'all know Otis is the only surviving original member of the Temptations alive. He's still over there performing My Girl and Papa Was a Rolling Stone. 89 years old anyways, and I just don't want Otis sending me a copyright trying to sue me talking about I'm reading his book. Anyways, let's start. In 1986, I stood on the empty stage of Detroit's Fox Theater. The glass of the city's grand old movie palaces and the only one to have been renovated. With its over 5,000 seats stretching back between ornate plastic walls and going under the refurbished chandeliers, it struck me as a place, maybe the only place that time forgot. Of course, I knew that these seats were not really the ones I sat in, surrounded by friends, all up and screaming for Frankie Lyman or Jackie Wilson. Now, let's pause right here. I remember in the beginning of the Temptations movie, Otis Williams running, ow, 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 at the Fox Theater in Detroit. And well, we remember if you've seen the Temptations movie. And the kids were excited. The kids were just excited to see all their favorite acts perform. Now, this is the thing. Pause. If you didn't know, I'm gonna give you some background knowledge and some little nostalgic history. Back in the day, in the 50s and the 60s, which was surprising to me, was music artists, especially African American ones, used to perform during the day. They would probably do a show at like noon, and then they would actually do two shows. So let's say on a Wednesday they would do a show at noon. They call it a matinee, and they also call it matinee for like Broadway shows. So what they used to do was a matinee, and then they would do an evening show, probably 7 to 8. And from what I've read and listened to, especially teenagers that were in high school back in the day, the 50s and the 60s, would skip school to go see their favorite music artists perform. Now they ain't doing that shit today because how many of you damn motherfuckers would go down to the United Center? Let's just say if they was artists still did that today, they was still letting artists do that today, perform in the middle of the day. It's a school day. Let's just say that. How many of you kids would skip school to go see Rod Wave perform at the United Center at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Many of y'all. That's why they don't do that shit today. And another thing why artists um can't perform 2 shows a day is because of equipment. Y'all know technology and stuff time it has improved. So now artists just do 1 show a day. That if you're doing like arenas and stuff, it's artists that do like small shows, they could still anyways. I'm not even you know what I mean. I'm talking a little too much. They have been cleaned up, probably repolished. But they could have been the same. Coming through the old stage door, I recall all the hours I spent outside it, hoping to catch a glimpse of one of my idols. Maybe one of the Cadillacs or a beautiful woman like Faye Adams. See, Otis be full of shit. And y'all gonna see like I did. This is the thing about Otis. Anyways, we'll get to that later. They might have changed the stage, but not enough that I couldn't close my eyes for a moment and feel the rhythmic vibrations of our dance steps as we struck and glided through our first Motortown Review, a Christmas show in the early 60s. Out beyond the edge of the stage, I could see only 100 or so faces, all smiling, all laughing, all bopping in time to the music, our music. Sometimes it feels like they might be the only people there, but then a roar reminds me that there might be hundreds, probably thousands, just like Thump in the darkness. Besides me, beside me, I'm sorry. 3 of us swoop and spin behind a shiny four-headed chrome microphone stand, while a fifth stands off somewhere to our left. If it's Eddie Kendrick, maybe he's singing "Just My Imagination." Oh, running away with me, making the girls down front swan. If it's David Ruffman in a light and flash, he's sending his microphone flying skyward. Turn down his split, come up and catch the mic, and is heading down into the crowd. Every beat of every song promotes a move, a look, a note that comes so naturally. Now, if I'm reading too fast, y'all know y'all can just do the little settings thing where you can slow it down and hear what I'm saying. I might have been, blah, blah, blah. I might have been doing it all my life. Where did that come from? Oh, every beat of every song promotes a move, a look, a note that comes so naturally. I might have been doing it all my life. In those moment, in those moments when this is all I think, when the adrenaline runs so high that it feels like a drug. Time stood still. This is the Apollo, 1966, or the Copacabana in 1967, maybe an English television studio in 1965, a little makeshift stage in a school gymnasium in 1963. And these are 4 of my very best friends, my brothers, all parties to a pact that says we never part. Now, Otis, why is you lying? You know you didn't fuck with none of them besides Melvin. And these are 4 of my very best friends, my brothers, all parties to a pact that says we would never part. That we, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Melvin Franklin, Paul Williams, and I will always be the Temptations. After a couple more numbers on any given night, no one but me knows that mixed in with the sheets of sweat that pour down my face, there are tears. Then something always happens to remind me that time, about 15 years worth, has flowing by. I noticed that the women in the front aren't dressed the same. Yeah, 'cause they got older. Fuck, you got booty shorts on at 54. I noticed that the women in the front ain't dressed the same. Or I catch a hint of gray on one of our heads. Or I catched a hint of gray on one of our heads. Or a move I execute a million times calls for an extra hustle. It's not 1963 or 1967, it's 1982. The Temptations have been together for over 2 decades. What Temptations? Okay. Yeah, I'm saying that because all five of the Temptations were not together, all performing at the same time for a good 15 years, 20 years, I'm sorry. I would say from 1964 to 1968. Your Otis be full of shit. Yet after a few more shows, only two of us, Melvin and I, would step on stage after an MC winds up his introduction with the Tempin' Temptations. David and Eddie will have returned to their own careers. Paul Williams, though taken from us in his prime, we hope is watching and with us as always. Will be three of and with us as always will be three other temps, guys whose voices